What's the shrimp price? If you want clams or oysters, you raise your beds up to the surface where they could then survive for that. So you have where you regulate the geography of the ocean. One of the more beautiful things about it is you're in international waters. Ships from all over the world would come by, go to your farm, you would load them up, and then they would go wherever they needed to go. The ocean is just wide open like that. But if you could regulate the seafood demand, if the price is great for lobster, man, sink those things down, grow some more lobster, shoot. And you know where your money would be is you just developing the field that this takes place on. You'd be up there recycling plastic to make these fields where all the seafood is going to grow. And now you've manipulated a great food source in a place of the world that wasn't being used anyway. Fish can still swim in between your little farm or above your farm or whatever.
What's holding the bed up and down?
You got it on like either pillars or
actuators.
Yeah, that are gonna like spiral like a big corkscrew, and it's gonna lower the bed down and raise it back up.
Corrosion proof because that's salt water's a son of a bitch.
Plastic. Recycling the mile of island out there that's made of plastic, right?
Yeah. Well, obviously plastic doesn't break down because they have it. I like it. I like the idea.
Yeah, I mean, as far as providing for the world, and if we're ever going to run out of food, I mean, I think there's a very viable solution, and you're using a piece of the world that no one even gives a second thought to.
I like the idea. I don't know how feasible it is, but I like the idea.
I don't know why it's not feasible. I mean, it's just a matter of raising and lowering that sucker.
And I think one of the byproducts would be coral. I think you could probably get coral growing off of current.
Huh. Yeah.
Going off you.
Yeah.
That's something you probably never heard of, but
I just don't know if we could sell coral.
No, I don't think it's a sellable thing. I think it's a byproduct that would come off of it. If you are impeding on the... because you have to, in order to get feed for everything you're growing, you go across currents and stuff.
Yeah.
You would collect coral spermatoa and eventually get a coral going off of whatever you're growing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's great to have mid-reef coral, but if you could have a commercial coral going as well, it's not going to... You're not going to make money off of it, but if you have something going there and you have something off the end...
Yeah.
Growing coral, coral creates a shit ton of oxygen. That's where we get all of our oxygen.
Huh. I thought we got it from seaweed. Isn't that the biggest mass producer of oxygen for the world is seaweed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming off, but like having the coral reefs and shit, that is the feces and everything that comes off of those is what goes into the reef to feed all of the... Like, basically, when the Great Coral Reef goes down, that's done. Yeah. Our oxygen supply is over. Because the habitat that creates is what feeds... basically everything.
Shoot, I mean, if that would help with the coral, whatever, I'm on board. I got another idea too. It's kind of strange, but it would solve two problems that this world faces right now.
I like it already.
And it would be homeless people, helping the homeless, and it would be cleaning up all the plastic. So I have this idea, and I think of this as like Legos. But, I mean, Legos got a pad, and they're like, no way in hell we're going to let you have that. But something similar, some block, something to build things with. So it's like this machine, right? And I ultimately envision this to be geothermal. You know, punch down there, and then you have this never-ending supply of heat. And then they use that heat to generate electricity that fires up this machine. And when you pour plastic into it, it busts out these little blocks. These blocks then go to build around the machine housing units for homeless people. Now you're cleaning up the plastic in your cities. You have the workforce with the homeless people going around.
You got a geothermal igloo station?
Pretty much. And it just gets bigger and bigger. And then people can start building these homes for themselves, so they have at least something overhead that's going to keep them warm through the winter. And they can take pride in making it for themselves when they go out and start cleaning up the city or wherever with all this plastic that's just laying around.
I like it. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not, as far as a nonprofit goes, you know, I think that's always a fun idea to throw at folks.
I love it. So when I want to come up with my nonprofit 501c whatever thing, like, I know I can come to you for ideas. Because I know that one's not going to work.
That's you want to hear an extortion idea?
Yes.
All right, I got a couple of them, and it has to do with fishing. Because right now, people in Montana are just freaking out about zebra mussels. You ever heard of them?
Yes.
Zebra mussels. Well, zebra mussels when they get into the river system, they eat all the nutrients.
Yes.
And they start stacking on top of themselves until they're like 18 inches thick, and there's no more nutrients left in that river. They've absorbed them all. It's like a big sponge, just taking all the nutrients out. But the byproduct is crystal clear water, pure water, with nothing in it, which is essential for good fishing, for all the aquatic life that's going to take place. Zebra mussels, they hog it all. Hey, I'm going to start up the...
Can you have a zebra mussel water company and bottle that shit?
I know. Well, it's going to be a little bit broader. It's going to be the Pure Water Society, because everyone loves the idea of pure water without the understanding how you get it. Potentially could be zebra mussels. So you have these zebra mussels like...
Fuck it. I want zebra mussel water.
I know.
I want to blatantly tell them, no, these sons of bitches take everything from your water, including the alkaline.
We're the Pure Water Society, and everyone loves, sign up right here, Pure Water. Everyone loves that idea. It's a sellable idea. And then if you don't, we're here to plant zebra mussels into these wild, pristine streams to make them more pure. That's why we're here. And if you don't want us to, you're going to have to pay us.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're about.
Yeah. Okay. I like where you're going with it. I think there's a better way to do it.
Complete extortion, but everyone hates you.
I think the better way, the more feasible thing is to say, pull zebra mussel colonization off of a garden hose.
Yeah.
And put it into a plastic pool and let that colonate, and then come over here and just do the pool and say, no, we're not fucking with your ecosystem, but we have zebra water. And explain what zebra mussels do to the water, and let them cultivate out of your hose.
You know, another one too is
I love it.
The Big Fish Society. You know, complete extortion here, but I'd never do this. I mean, it totally goes against, what everyone's about, which is nice. Montana, they're not political about stuff. Washington, oh man, you catch one fish. How do we divide this fish between all the parties involved?
Washington is divided in this funny thing. It's like there's Eastern Washington, there's basically everything from about Edmonds up, and then there's basically everything from about Seattle down, and then there's Seattle.
Yeah.
And fuck Seattle. Seattle has never seen a tax it doesn't like. They're taxing. You can't drink a soda without paying fucking $9 now.
Yeah. I was hoping this wouldn't get political.
No, I'm a political son of a bitch.
So
I fucking like the minute Eastern Washington secedes from Western Washington, I will be in Eastern Washington.
You have to be. It's completely crazy. I mean, I'm listening to the radio, and as soon as I get back from Washington, right to the talk radio, and it's absolutely asinine.
I get you moving to Bozeman.
When I say political, that's exactly what I mean.
I dream of that because it's so like I don't know the idea. Which is it weird of me to think that like you wake up in the morning and not hear bullshit.
So I'm coming over, and that's exactly. I mean, they're talking about the taxes that are going to be proposed, and how they've. It's very frustrating, especially with the lean that Seattle has. They are so out of touch. They are so. It's not even reality based anymore.
Yeah,
it's like the thing today where they were talking about the gal that's coming after this guy where they had relations, and she's coming after him now saying it was sexual harassment because he should have read her body language that it wasn't right. So after they did the deed, after she was okay with it, she's coming after him the next day saying you should have known better. And the thing is the people doing the broadcast are on her side. How can males be better? Like, are you freaking kidding me? It's okay. Here's another one. It was listening to the Seattle programs about this gal down in like Georgia or something. It was a black family. These kids broke into the neighbor's house, stole from the neighbor's house, and it's like a single mother found them doing this, takes off her belt and starts whipping her kids. And they were like, she shouldn't have whipped them. She definitely shouldn't have whipped them. And she got arrested, right?
For whipping her kids breaking into a house?
Yes.
She was doing the right thing.
She was. And it's like guys, wait a minute. She might not get Mom of the Year, but she's trying her best to teach her kids right from wrong. And that's the point that they missed. They just were talking if she should have hit him with a belt.
It was caught on a camera? Or was it just hearsay?
It was
because that's what I fear. Everything today is caught on fucking camera. You can't do anything without someone fucking having their phone out and going like this.
Well, they had the interview with her. They had they had the sound bites, which is important to radio. So
yeah,
and it's like, dude, Seattle, hello, you're missing the point here. The act was her trying to make it right and trying to discipline her kids.
She's trying to whoop her kids.
Yeah.
And at some point, you got to whoop your kids, right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
if they're going out and doing that, like if your kids are going out and biting people, okay, that's not nothing. But if they're going out and robbing people, go whoop your kids.
Yeah. And I mean, Seattle, they're just so far off base. They're so out of touch with I don't even know where they want society to go. They just want to sit back and judge, and I really don't understand it. And it's very frustrating to come back and hear those radio programs where there's no rationale to, how the world is.
It's funny because you can, like, if take a break, get away from Seattle radio for a long time, and then come back and listen to what used to be the conservative shows.
Yeah.
And listen to how fucked up they are. And they're listening to